What is a mantra? It's a syllable, a sound, or a word, or a set of words. But it's not found in a book. It's found only in a deep state of meditation. It's not the language in which human beings speak normally. These sounds, which are received from this superconscious state, can lead the seeker deeper until he reaches the perfect silence. And then more awareness is increased, and more the mantra reveals its meaning through that increase in awareness. It keeps taking one to a deeper dimension of consciousness. Selling mantras in the market won't work. By the way, they do sell them in India. I once went to a, what would you call it, a bazaar? And there was a sign out there, mantras for sale. I asked him, how much? He said, that's too much. He's down there the street, he sells it much cheaper than you. I just kept going back and forth. Sorry, no, you're too expensive. I had fun that day. This is Swamiji talking. I used to collect mantras like people collect material objects, hoping that some new mantra I was about to receive would be better than the one I already had. He was a little fanatic. Sometimes I would compare myself to other students and think, my mantra is better than your mantra. I was very immature. I call it crazy spirituality. I like that. Yes. There was a Swami who lived quietly and deeply in the Himalayas, between Uttarkashi and Parsel. I went to see him. And when I arrived, he smilingly asked, hey, what's the purpose of your visit? I told him, I want to receive a mantra. I already had a pile of them in his pocket, by now. Well, you'll have to wait. Ooh. When Westerners come and go to someone for a mantra, they're prepared to spend a lot of money, but they don't want to wait. I want it now. Give me. So I tried the same thing. Swamiji, I'm in a hurry. I need it now. Well, then come next year. Well, if I stay, how many days will I have to wait? You will have to wait as long as I want you to wait. Ooh. So I waited patiently 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, no mantra. On the 4th day he said, I want to give you a mantra, but promise that you will remember it all the time. Ooh, what a connection here. I promised. Okay, let's go to the Ganges. Countless sages have done a lot of spiritual practices on the banks of the sacred Ganges over the centuries. I stood by the river and said, I promise I will not forget the mantra. I repeated the promise several times, but he kept waiting, looking around. Okay, that's enough. At last he said, hang on. No matter where you live cheerfully. That's my mantra to you. Be cheerful at all times, even if you're behind bars. Anywhere you live, even if you have to go to a hellish place, create heaven there. Remember, my boy, cheerfulness is of your own making. It only requires human effort. You have to create it yourself. This is my mantra to you. I was astonished, and yet very sad. I had expected him to give me some unusual sound to repeat, but it was more practical. And somehow that stuck with me, and I've used it successfully everywhere. When you say a mantra that's been given to you by the tradition, it starts out small, doesn't seem to have much of an impact. But if you could start to utter the mantra interiorly, in a sense, changes would take place drastically. I can't tell you what changes, but you would find out soon enough. The sound of the mantra is trying to pull out of you certain potentials that are in your specific nature. That's why it was given to you. It wasn't arbitrary, it was not just on a mantra list, so we'll give this one today to her. So that your nature is in congruity with the sound of the mantra. The whole point is the mantra is to give you what. Now here's a secret to upgrading your receptivity to the mantra. Are you ready for this? Go to your breath for just a minute or two so you're really steady now. This is going to sound a little strange. When you sit there and you remember the mantra, presume your whole body is an ear. Your whole body is listening to it. Have that at least as your intent. That feeling will come. You may feel vibrations at other parts of your body, but usually it'll move to the chakras. And I can't say which one. But that's the one that's working on at that time. So the more you have that intent, and you do it with ease, there's no strain, there's no stress. Feel yourself as though your whole body wants to vibrate with the remembering of the mantra. And then watch what happens. People don't understand, too, how just the human voice itself in speaking has such power in touching, communicating with the person. And that you know yourself when you're trying to console someone, you don't talk rapidly, loudly. So there's a definite coloration to the intent when you're speaking with someone. The more confident you get, and the more versatile you get, the more you have to be careful in not trying to spread yourself out, doing all kinds of things at once. It won't work. You're getting the bad habit again. You have to learn how to really concentrate, even though you'd want to do, and you thought you could handle 3 at once. But you're better off just go into yourself. Your nature will tell you. For example, I'm just continually astonished at what you can tell the mind to do, and it doesn't. In terms of remembering, healing yourself.
A question.
Yes.
Does the vibration of the mantra when you're doing it have any effect on the prana?
Yes. They're together. The sound rides on the prana. They support each other in one way of looking at it. The energy of your breath vibrates at a very subtle level with the mantra sound that you're uttering in your remembrance. That's why you can get so deep into the mantra you won't feel yourself breathing. There's a type of breathing, you might as well learn this one now. because it's gonna happen to you if it hasn't happened already, at least glimmeringly. You will stop breathing. What we would call physical breathing. And what will happen will this start to pulsate. And your breathing will continue, but it won't use the gross level of oxygen so much. You'll go to the subtler level, what they call the prana. And you'll be sitting there and you can't hear yourself, you can't feel yourself breathing. You'll panic at first because you're not used to it. That's normal. But get used to it. It's going to happen to you. When that occurs, you've stopped aging. That's how the guys do it in the cave. There's a stratified conglomeration of energy in you. The gross level is the oxygen, the carbon dioxide, and the oxygen, which is fine. But on top of that, riding it, so to speak, is a subtler level of energy, which the yogis recognize, and they call that, for the Sanskrit, prana. The major level of energy. You can quiet down the gross level to the point where it's no longer discernible. If I held a piece of paper in front of your nose, it wouldn't move. But you're still breathing. The prana is coming in and out so subtly, and the space between your two eyebrows may start to vibrate, and you could feel that. Usually it will. Just a tinge. That also can happen earlier. As you listen to the mantra, get caught up into your mantra that way, your whole body will tingle, for a better word. And you'll feel it as if it's coming in to a center. This will come, unevenly at first. It often comes and you're not aware of it. This is a strange thing, because you haven't reached that level of sensitivity to pick up that it's already there. But that will come because of your intent, the fact that you're practicing. If you had an animal in the house, they'd come right over to you and want to lean against you for that. They'd pick it up. Once I was in an aquarium, and I decided to concentrate on a fish, focused. Got as quiet as I could. Just asked him, come on over. Guess who swam over after a while and just stared at me through the glass. The vibrations will attract. Practice that, trying to get your whole person, your whole embodiedness to become an ear, listening to the mantra. Feel as if it was vibrating. And just wait, you'd be surprised.